The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
The 1130 Podcast and 1130 Entertainment presents Beyond 1130.
Yo, what it do? What's going on with everybody out there? What's cracking like it? Y'all already know what it is, man. It's your man Dre, aka Dre on Wheels. We back at it, man, on this Thursday. Y'all already know what time it is. Welcome back, you guys, man, to Beyond 1130. Yes, you guys, man. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Appreciate everybody that's going to be rocking with me, man. Of course, we are live here on all social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, man. Before we get into the show and start having some fun, y'all already know what time it is, man. Definitely make sure you hit the like button down below, follow, share, and most importantly, you guys, man, definitely make sure you subscribe right here to the 1130 podcast on YouTube, you guys. All right. Now that's out the way, you guys, man. All right. Now, this week's episode of Beyond 1130, man, we got the game, man. But you guys, man, we missing two members, though. Shout out to Harley. You know, she's under the weather. Shout out to Harley. Harley be back next week. And also, shout out to my guy, Brian B., who's taking a break. Who's taking a little short break, and he'll be back real soon, though. But you guys, man, I'm not alone on 1130 episode 3 this week, you guys. I got your favorite no bullshit therapist, my girl Charnel, in the building. Charnel, what's going on?
Ain't not a thing but a chicken wing, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I dig it. Ain't nothing but a chicken wing, though. How's your day? How's everything been going for you?
Man, it's been some long days. I've been seeing lots of people, you know, and there's lots of heaviness with all the mess going on and all that kind of stuff, and it's really affecting folks and all that. So I've been having to be a source of encouragement and reminding people they ain't got nothing to do with you. Don't even worry about that.
Hey, I dig it. Yeah, if it ain't got nothing to do with you, you know, don't even worry about it, though. Yeah. Okay, you guys, as well, man. Like I said, we ain't got Brian or Charnel this week. Harley hit me up, and we got the fuck the no bullshit podcast crew in the building, right? I hope I said it right, though. Yeah, I'm gonna let Charnel.
Bullshit.
There you go. I'm gonna let Charnel do the introductions, though. To bring on the crew from the podcast.
So part of my crew, Big Sexy Fred, is in the house on that Fuck That Bullshit podcast. Come on down, Fred.
What it is. It's your boy, Big Fred, aka Big Sexy. I'm just a regular dude giving a regular point of view.
Yeah, I dig it. Big Fred in the building. Hey, how's everything going on with you, man? Appreciate you coming on the show too as well.
Hey, man, no problem, man. I've been watching this podcast for a long time. Honored to finally be here.
Hey, that's what's up. All right, you guys, man, you already know the vibes here on Beyond 1130, man. We just have some fun and just, roll with it, though. But I had a couple of conversations I do want to talk about. Well, one main topic, though, but also another thing, because I heard on the radio earlier, and I thought it was really hilarious, though. I said, man, I'm going to definitely talk about this on the podcast, man. First dates, man. We all sort of experience some first dates, where you got your eye on this special someone, man, woman, whoever it is. And, of course, you want to, impress them. You want to take them out on the first date. And, the conversation I was hearing where a lady who was upset, she was really upset about the guy who took her out, on the first date. But the only thing that she was upset about was the fact that he paid with I believe it was a Groupon. Yes, a Groupon. Yes, and I'm not too sure. I was doing a whole lot. I told myself I was going to look it up and do some research about the Groupons and everything and how it works. But however, he took her on a date, and I guess they had a nice meal and whatnot, and at the end, hey, look, we about to check out, and he paid with a Groupon. And I want to ask you guys, as we go around the stream here, and ask you guys, if you went on the first date, Chanel, how would you feel? And also Big Fred, how would you feel? If that man or that lady, more than likely, because most guys, we gonna pay on the first date. If a woman choose to, hey, that's up to them. Whatever financial work for you though. But okay, Chanel, how would you feel? If a guy took you out on the date and he pulled out a Groupon. How would you feel?
Be honest.
Well, I'm gonna be real and I'm gonna be honest with you, but I'm a different kind of woman, and people usually tell me that I don't count when it comes to how women are, because that don't fucking matter. Matter of fact, I'll be honored because that man is frugal. He paying attention to his money. That means he can manage his money, because you don't have to pay $1 million for a date if you can get it for 500,000. You know what I'm saying? So like I respect the person who is watching their budget, right? As a matter of fact, I was going out with one guy before that I felt like was doing too much with the spending, because we was going out like every weekend, and some point he ran out, so I just don't think that's a huge deal. I just don't think it's a huge deal. Like, did you have a good time? That's it.
Look, I'm gonna let you know before we even get to the restaurant that we going to this restaurant because I found a coupon in Groupon that's gonna give us 50% off. Now, if you don't want to go, hey, that's on you. I mean, more than likely, she expected old boy to just, whip out his credit card and pay $250 for dinners, and so she can go run back and tell her friends, "Oh yeah, he paid $250 for me to eat." No, I'm gonna pay 50% off for you to eat. Because
but did you have a good time?
Good time, exactly. I took you to the fancy restaurant you went to. I'm always looking for a deal.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't walk around Walmart for nothing for 45 minutes because I ain't got nothing better to do.
Right. All right. And then looking at the economy we in right now and all that, I don't understand why people, and just women, are still expecting some high level of like ballerism and all that kind of stuff. Like, and unless you're in that position and you contributing to that deal too, right? But it doesn't make sense to judge a person because they want to save some money. Because let's say he ain't got it like that. So that means you wouldn't have went to that restaurant and he ain't find a Groupon. You'd have went somewhere cheaper, right?
Exactly.
So and what's the judgment there? Are you going to have a good time, get to know a person or whatever, and all that kind of stuff, or are you going to check his wallet?
Yeah, I mean, I saw this as a perfect way not a perfect way, but I find this was the way for her to basically, how you just said, Chanel, to check his pockets though. Whether, yes, this first date, let's get to know each other, let's have fun, and everything like that. But at the same token, I don't even, as the guy perspective though, like, I mean, I don't even know if I like you all like that. I mean,
let's be real.
I don't even know if I like you all like that to maybe pulling out all my money, and then like you said, the first thing I do now a couple of days later, you asking me, hey, you know what? You got a couple of dollars I can borrow or whatever like that. I mean, like, nah, come on, man, come on. Like, what type of time you on though? Like, I just took you out on a date, and then I watched this. I kind of watched this. It was this YouTube show basically with a guy who, stands around a couple of cars, and some of them be, I seen a couple of them, and, he'll try to catch the gold diggers or whatever like that. But basically, a lot of women, sort of try to, peep out who they, okay, he got money. Oh, let me go over there and let me see what he about and everything like that. Instead of trying to get to know the guy and everything like
Right.
that, you can't even really get to know a woman nowadays without them saying, okay, well, how much money you got? You going to cash out me some money to get something to eat or whatever like that? I'm like, well, damn.
Thank
Right. And
you.
then at the same time, then women are mad because we get, you got womanizers, right? And all that. But you're perpetuating that same culture by doing that kind of bullshit. That doesn't make sense. It don't
Yeah,
make
because
sense.
if you gonna do all that, I might as well go date a hooker. At least they honest.
At least
At
they
least,
on.
at least
Right.
I know what they want.
Mm-hmm.
But if you call one of them a modern day hooker, oh,
It'll
not
be
not
offensive.
yeah,
It'll be
now they
Yeah.
offensive.
now they super offended. Nah, you
Mhm.
just broke. No,
Right.
because that brother that took her to dinner with that Groupon, that boy might be making $500,000 a year.
And that's what I was gonna say too, right? Because
'Cause
if if you know about people who do have money, right?
they
They
don't spend
do not
money.
out there
Yeah.
putting it everywhere, right? They
Oh,
invested, they reinvested, right? Like they trying to hold it, they trying to do something with it, and all that kind of stuff. And if they do choose, to spend it, they spend it wisely, right? Not that they don't treat themselves, not that they don't take care of things they want to take care of or do what they like to do, but they not out there just flipping cash out. You know what I'm saying? So
no,
like the dude that you are upset about that use a group on probably balling, and the one that's out here flashing cash is not balling, right?
because and I know Drake can speak on this from a man's perspective. I know a lot of brothers that do that fake balling. They
Mhm.
just out here. You done spent up your whole paycheck. Don't even know how you're gonna pay your rent.
Right,
But
right.
you want to stunt in the club. I
No,
didn't watch a million of them. The DC thing. I saw it all the time out there. Brothers just
Yeah.
spending money and then
mhm.
scraping up trying to get away to get home.
Right, right. Don't make sense. It don't
Yeah,
make
it
sense.
don't. It really don't. It don't make sense at all, man. Like if I take you out on the first date, and like I said, I didn't even think of it that way. I'm like, man, you know what? Maybe he got some money, and obviously he's not trying to spend it all on you. Especially if
Mhm.
if this is a first
It's just the
date.
first
First
date.
date.
Yeah.
Yeah, if just a first date, and
Mhm,
I look at, all right, I'm gonna try to make sure she have a good time, get whatever
mhm.
she want to get. I mean, none of that really mattered. The conversation didn't matter. All that, to say was, damn, he just pulled out a Groupon on me though. He couldn't even pay for my stuff with, money and cash and everything like that.
Mhm.
And I think we need to we need to have. I talk about this a lot on the main, the regular podcast show. With fathers having male role models, and I think we sometimes need to have better
Yeah,
women role models for some of these ladies
absolutely,
too.
absolutely.
And whether it might be an absence from the dad, to show them how to, this is how a man should treat you, and this is how you
Right.
should treat a man as well.
Come
I
on.
think
Both ways.
a big disconnect
Mhm.
nowadays, because it's now everything is about you know I mean money. Yeah, we all
Yeah.
gotta survive. We all gotta put food on our table.
Mhm.
We all gotta earn money to make a living or whatever the case may be.
Right.
But I
Mhm.
think we sometimes ruin we sometimes ruin them relationships that come in our lives, whether maybe for a night, maybe for a good time, maybe for a long time. Whoever knows,
You don't know.
Right.
Right.
I just think we just ruin that by just having a certain type of mentality to where it's like, oh, well, if you can't pay my bills, you can't do nothing for me. If you can't,
Right.
and I understand, you might have been single, you might have been hurt, whatever the case may be, but, you can't like you can't put every situation that you've been through on everybody else though, you
Amen.
Right.
know?
But you got
Get
to think
some
about it though,
therapy.
Dre. If the daughter 20, and
Mhm.
I'm talking about nowadays, if the
Okay.
daughter 20, mom like 36,
Mhm.
grandma like
Mm,
47,
Mhm.
they all got that same mentality.
Mhm.
mm,
Yeah.
Because
And we
think
talked
about
about
it.
that. But yeah, it's the babies
Yeah.
having babies thing too. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. You know.
So, they all three of them sitting there in the living room watching Real Housewives of Atlanta. You know, when my mother was a young mother,
Right.
but my grandmother was an older woman. So when she talked to me about, how you should treat a woman, how a woman should treat you, stuff like that, it was coming from years and years and years of wisdom. Plus, she was married almost 60 years.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's true. That's very. And I say, can we bring back first dates like walking in a park, like going to an aquarium, like just
To the
it's
movies?
because everything, yeah, like because everything is like, oh, take me out to eat and spend a lot of money on me or whatever. But like a first date is supposed to be a really get to know you thing, right?
Mm,
I even say like don't do the movies because you're focusing on the movie and
Right.
not you don't have time to really talk or whatever. Now you do movie and a dinner or walk afterward or whatever, cool, and the movie will be a good topic to talk about,
Yeah.
right? But like the goal of a first date is to get to know the person that you out with to see if you want a second date, right? And
Exactly.
all that,
Yeah.
mm,
and it don't take a fancy meal for that, right? Like you can go to Wingstop and do that. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
yeah,
Shout out to my
yeah.
boo who took me to Wingstop on the first date.
Yeah, you can go pretty much anywhere. I know you said walk in the park, and I think that's, it ain't too many people who think like that now. I think with today's society now, it's like, oh, the first date, a lot of people was like, oh man, you come on the first date, you gotta impress me. I mean, I don't even fucking know you.
I
I
know
mean, I mean,
you.
you
Right.
feel me?
I
Like,
don't even know you.
And
what do
how
you
come
want
your
me to do?
personality is not the impressive thing? Because it used to be that your character was the thing that you was impressing with, right? Not
Mm,
material items. It's like who you are as a person, how you're treating me this evening. Are you a gentleman or not? Like, how do you speak to me? How do you talk to your mama? Like, so like
Exactly.
these are the things that I care about instead of, because if I have those character traits, then we can ball out together. We can build this thing, right?
yeah.
And all that. I don't need you to come ready made. I need you to come, willing to grow,
Oh,
right?
but you know what? You just said something. You
Hmm.
just said something.
What I said, what I
Back
said.
then, people was looking for a mate.
Right. They've been looking for
Now
partners.
they just looking, like Dre said, now they just looking for convenience.
Yes.
Hey,
Mm-hmm.
if you can spend $250 on me for dinner, you can give me $500 from, well, no, not in 2026. You can give
What?
me $1,400 for my rent. I was
Yeah.
thinking
Don't
back
do
to the
500.
90s when
Uh-uh.
rent was
Right
actually
back to I
$500.
miss the 90s rent prices, dog. I miss the 90s rent prices. So tired.
Yeah, things with
And
prices was way crazy.
everything got to be streamed now too.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
Everything on my first date. Everybody, they want
Mm-hmm.
everybody to see it. I don't want you. I don't want to show. I don't want to post on Instagram where you paying with a Groupon.
And you're right, Fred. You're right. Because that's what it was. It wasn't that, yes, that is a character flaw. But the biggest deal is what do I get to tell my friends? What do I get to tell
Exactly.
my people? Right. And the people that surround you have the same mentality that you do, right?
Yeah, they all thinking the
When I
same
told my
way.
friends we went to Wingstop, they was like, "Oh, that's so sweet. Is he sweet? Is he nice?" Like because that's the kind of people I hang out with. But if I
Right.
hung out with people who were like that, right, they might have been like, "He's like, Wingstop," you know,
Yeah.
like
Ain't nothing wrong with wing stuff.
ain't nothing wrong with Wingstop. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know about you. I know me and Jerry can ball at Wingstop.
Absolutely, absolutely. You
yeah,
know,
man. I
I had one guy
definitely.
take me to a botanical garden on a date. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm,
it was walking and talking. They had orchids and all. Like that was the coolest thing ever. You know, but like, and people don't have imagination no more. Be creative.
definitely,
Be creative.
definitely. Yeah. People don't have an imagination. I think that's another topic, man. But
Hmm.
yeah, like yeah, it's more so of just what that's what I was going to say when you was like relationships. I think relationships more so nowadays are more so business transactions. More so
Definitely. Yeah.
more so business transactions. Like if if you've been with someone and you gave them all your time and
Hmm.
energy and it didn't work, and maybe you did it again, it didn't work, and maybe
Mhm.
you just feel like, fuck it, I'm just gonna, do whatever I feel like I want to do or whatever like that, whether it's, you know, in whatever type of way, that's just what I'm gonna do. And I
Mhm.
think that's another thing that come in to play too. I think because a lot of relationships, obviously end, and people have trauma with that, and then so it basically turns into, okay, what can you do for me, basically, because the last guy couldn't do nothing, and the last guy couldn't do nothing, the last guy couldn't do nothing. So
Mhm.
what can you do for
Don't know what
me?
you got. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
basically, can you buy me something to eat? Can you buy me this bag? Can you? If you can't, then oh well, you
Mhm.
can't mess with me.
Mhm.
So yeah, most women, we ain't gonna say most, but hey, a lot of women, they carry that independent flag,
Mhm.
really high. So hey, I'm independent. I can do all of this by myself. I'm like, okay,
Mhm.
all right, but hey. Well, next time you pay for your food. You
Exactly.
pay for your food,
And
okay?
I,
You pay
I
for.
challenge women in that too. Like if you are that hyper independent, right? Then y'all gonna go Dutch on the meal. You gonna go half, or you gonna pay for it sometimes, right? Because
It's
I'm also independent minded, but not to the extent that I'm not gonna allow somebody to do things for me. I had to work on that. I'm not gonna lie, I had to work on that, right? And to allow somebody to take care of me in a certain way, right? And allow somebody to treat me well and all that kind of stuff. Because just because I can do it by myself, don't mean I have to. Don't mean I want to either. That's the
Yeah.
Bible mode.
Yeah, and if you want to keep it transactional, let's keep it all the way
Oh, it's
transactional.
transactional.
I'm
Yeah.
not your man. Don't try and claim me as your man. And
Right.
the only reason you with me is because you you want some
You
money
want some
every
money?
now and then.
Yeah.
So
That's
when
it.
I go and find somebody who want me for me,
Right.
don't get mad when I'm not the business transaction is
That shit is
over.
over. Yeah. Business done. Shut it down. Close shop.
and, it, and
Going out of business.
the next thing came to my mind. Yeah, we gonna keep it all the way transactional
Yeah.
until you give her something. Then it's all the way then it's all the way crazy now. Like,
Mhm.
you know what? We don't go together now. You know how
Yeah,
we go together.
yeah. Basically, we never did. This was just a business transaction. I understood that. You understood that.
Sure, Ty,
All
that's
right,
it.
big Fred. I'll ask you a question though. Like, all right, you know this woman, you like this lady, you want to get to know her, you want to take her out on the first date. How would you feel if a woman paid for a first date?
I don't have a problem with that at all. Pride is overrated.
Mm,
If she
okay.
wants to pay now for the first date, even if she want to pay, I'm going to insist that I pay because that's just how I was
Yeah,
raised.
that's how
Like
you
Chanel know all the men that tutored me through my life.
right.
I'm gonna
Mm,
pay for the first because
Hmm.
more than likely I'm asking you out. If I'm asking you out, I'm gonna pay for the date.
Right.
Not
yeah.
expecting you to pay for the date.
Hmm.
Now
Mm.
we get to the second and the third date. You like, babe, don't worry about it. I got it. I'm gonna be like, all right, big dog,
Right.
roll with it. And
You
then,
know, and I'm a
yeah,
firm believer that like men deserve that too. You know what I'm saying? We're in a society where women also work. We also earn money, right? And so, like, what's wrong with me helping out or paying for the date here and there, whatever the case may be? Because like this is a partnership, it's a relationship, or we're trying to get to a relationship and all that kind of stuff. Because to me, that's also a show of when you down or when you ain't got it, I got it, right? Because
Mm.
that's what partnership is about. It's about working together on things, you know.
yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
and
my wife pay for some stuff. I pay for some stuff.
Right,
It's just we get to the register and one of us be like, I got it.
right,
yeah. See,
right.
see how
That's
you
it.
You see how you said my wife, when you in a situation like that, like you got someone that can hold you down,
Hmm.
and y'all been together and y'all know, okay, honey, I ain't got it this week. Okay, no
Right.
problem, and stuff like that. But I think the youngins or
Yeah,
this
yeah.
new generation to where it's like, I think women sometimes look what they call it, sus, or whatever they, or suspect or
Hmm.
look at men to be weak, if they gotta, obviously pay for any type of date. They would feel like, okay, what, I should not have to pay for any date. That's why I was saying also it worked both ways.
Yeah.
You saw how you saw how, or maybe you saw images or whatever the case may be of how a man should treat you, because there's always women always telling another woman how a man should treat you, but never really how you should treat a man. And it's like, okay, he should take you out on a date, he shouldn't pay for it. Obviously he should pull your chair out, all that great stuff, yeah, but like, I don't think it's taught both ways, to where it's like, okay, if this guy is genuine, this guy love you, and he doing everything and by you, as a man and everything like that, it's okay, for you to, pay for a date or whatever like that. It's okay for you to, do stuff, like that for your man,
Right.
Ain't nothing's wrong with that at all, because if you chasing after, I guess I hate this word, but a high value man, I hate that word.
I know you hate that
word
so
with a
much. I can't believe you
passion.
said that out loud.
You know, if you trying to date a brother that make $500,000 a year, that nigga got options.
Thank you.
He got options, because you know what? It ain't that many people in America making $500,000 a year, and he know he can look like Biggie Smalls, and he know every woman running around here damn near want him.
Right. Right.
So he got options. He got to like you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You passing up the brother that's making $80K a year, and trust me, $80K ain't
that much. But it ain't that much at the same time.
it ain't a lot. But
Yeah,
it ain't a little bit.
Ain't
either.
nothing either. Right. Exactly.
So yeah, like like Gray said, you got each other back, then you can do that. But if all you worrying about is just what I can buy you, we don't even need to date for that. Just I'll call you when I feel like going out and I need some eye candy on my arm.
Right.
Okay, there you go.
That's the contract.
You get to eat. You get to put me on Instagram and be like, look at my high value man. I'll be your high value man for the night, and then you can go sleep with that scrub, because they always dating the brother that's in jail and locked up, ain't got nowhere to live. 50 baby mamas. That's the one they want. That's the one they keep. They don't.
Yeah, for some reason. Like yeah, that's weird.
Do different things to you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's desperate.
Look at I'm putting her on the block list. I ain't keeping you in my phone. Well, hell no. Like I take you out specifically, and we go out to eat, and I realize, like, all right, look here. I mean, like, let's get through it. I'm like, all right, she all right, she cool. Maybe she got a big butt. I'm like, ooh, okay, maybe I'm gonna stick around a little bit more. Let's see what she's about. Maybe, let's get to know her. Let's not be all like that. Let's get to know her. And she starts talking crazy and, chewing with her mouth open and, talking about, I got Cash App too. I just ain't got nothing in my Cash App though. But you think you can put something in my Cash App? You think you could donate? Nah, look here. Oh, hell nah. Then I'm definitely pulling out my coupon, GROWNN, APON, 4pons. I'm pulling all of them out. Shit, I might got a tampon I might pull out. I'm pulling out something. I'm pulling out something, and I'm paying for it, and I'm putting you on the block list. Trust me, believe me.
Do what you do, because you need that money.
I also wonder, even with that situation with the Groupon, because how Groupon works is you go, but at least how it used to work, you would go online, you would get the Groupon and all that stuff, right? And it gives you a discount. So either they're going to scan it, but it ain't necessarily something you hand to them like cash or whatever, right?
Right.
And like that. So, like, you're looking real hard to see what he's paying for and how he's paying, to know that he paid with a Groupon, right? Because it's not like a paper coupon. It's not like So that she was looking really, really hard. My other thing I thought about just now, though, is if that's how you establish, a lot of times when we'll establish that in the beginning, and if that's their mentality, he might actually be with that woman because that's what he feel like he need or whatever the case may be. But over time, that's not sustainable, right? Because at some point you want something better, you want something different, you want the time, you want this, you want that, or whatever, right? And so if you dating somebody who is balling, likely he gone all the time. He
Yeah,
gotta go off. He gotta go
gotta
make
make
money,
gotta
right?
make that $500,000 a year. Can't make it
Exactly.
sitting
So
at
he got to
home.
go out and do that. That means you don't get as much time, right? You don't get
Yeah.
as much of the lovey-dovey stuff that you really want and that you really wanted to begin with, but you chose to grab this man because he had some cash, right? And
Yeah,
stuff.
you don't want to be like Dak Prescott, former wife. You know,
Mm,
I I don't know if you guys know the deal or whatever like that, but
mm,
I heard about it the other day. I
mm,
ain't a big Cowboys fan, but I think I
mm,
heard it on the radio, and I was like, they been together, they was about to get married or whatever, and of course,
mhm.
uh, he said, you want to sign a prenup? She was like, oh
Yeah.
hell no, I ain't signing no prenup.
Mm,
Shit, look at I'm like, look at if you ain't with that man, you know, if you ain't been with that man from the get go and you
mm.
ain't seen him through the ups and downs, because that's what a
Right.
lot of these,
I
and
think, yeah.
and I'm
If
not
you
too
ain't been there
sure.
since day one when I was
Yeah,
broke, then we signed a prenup.
yeah, and I'm not too sure on her background, her ethnicity or whether she was black or white, but it seemed like she was white, and I hear a lot of stories to where like these a lot of white ladies sort of I can't even think of the word, but they go after these black
Yeah.
rich
Which guy?
athletes,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and try to drain their money out of them,
Mhm.
and do everything in the power to it's like, okay, like, do you love me? Like we were just saying, do you like me? Do you love me for who I am?
Right.
Or you just want to benefit off of me just because I'm a football player and I'm worth like 400 million dollars, like,
Right.
and then you don't want to sign a prenup just so some shit happens, you can say you want to take all my stuff. No,
Right.
like, I think that's like I just said, it's all more of business transaction. People don't stay married longer than they used to. Like my
Mhm.
man was just saying, you said his mom or pops or like been together for a long time. Like that's some old school stuff where you see your
Yeah.
grandmother and your granddaddy or your mother and your father, they been together 30, 40 years. Ain't nobody 30, 40 years no more. Everybody getting married, and then next 2 months, next 2, 3 years, they fucking
Mhm.
divorced because they didn't even real life get to know the person. They just was like, oh yeah, you look good. Oh yeah, the sex good. Oh okay, yeah, you could buy me this.
Right.
But didn't really, especially like in the pandemic, man. Pandemic really showed a lot of motherfuckers who really they are, man. Because
Oh,
when your ass couldn't get up out that house and go to work, and you had to look at that person
oh my
every
God.
single day, and was like, well, damn, why you leave the toilet seat up? Well, damn, why you sleeping on? Well,
He not
damn, you didn't put
lying.
the milk
He
out.
ain't
Damn, you
lying,
didn't.
boy.
It's
Right.
like, well, damn,
So, I don't
and
even like you. I don't even like you like that. Like, why?
right,
I'm saying
exactly.
how they
So,
like their kids. But what the people did do though was respect them teachers at that point. They're like,
oh yeah.
remember you had said my kid was cutting up, and then I was tripping about it and all. No, you was right. You was right. This nigga off the chain.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, people find out a lot about their relationships during COVID. When you got to be
Yeah.
around that person all the time, whole different game.
Yeah,
Whole
because when
different game.
they riding to work for an hour, you at work all day, they at work. So when you really
Mhm.
see them, it's only like 2 hours.
Yeah, 2, 3 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, COVID was like, fuck that. Y'all locked in the house all
Y'all like
day,
Yeah.
every
y'all
day.
like you
You
like
only
him now? You like him now? Yep.
you only
Uh-huh.
saw him for maybe like an hour in the morning. All right, babe. Passing by. It was more of a
That's
passing
right.
by. Getting
Yep.
Yeah.
out the shower, getting in the shower. All right, baby.
Uh-huh.
All right, all right. About to leave out. Yeah, do your lunch. Got the keys. All right. See you later.
Yep.
Boom. 7 o'clock. You get home. You eat. You watch TV. Fall asleep. You do it all over again. And maybe you might spend some time on the weekends. Maybe
Yeah,
not.
that's, I mean, it is.
But yeah. So I feel like, man, you really gotta zone in and like the person, and like, because ain't nobody got time. And you know what? And I don't know if it was because I became, once I became a dad, it's
Mhm.
just like everything. I just be like, you know what, man? I understand that shit. Look here. Not saying I'll do it, but I
You
understand that shit.
understand
Like,
it, right?
I
Yeah.
understand it. Like, like you don't want to play with nobody, man. Like, leave somebody on, and people, and you don't know what mental, what
Thank
goes
you.
on with people,
Yeah.
like you play with somebody, man, and they feel like, look here, I done gave you everything, and then all of a sudden, Mother,
Now,
you just want some money or something like that's how people snap real life. Like people go, yeah, like so it's wild. You gotta really like the person, man, and just get to know them, and not just what can you do for me or what can I get out of you, and you know, going
I
on to
always
the
pose
next.
the
But
question. I always pose the question like when the kids are grown and everybody is retired, or when the hustle and bustle is gone, what you got left?
yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
That's a good way to actually go into the next topic, because I think
Right.
that is really well, because I think I see a lot of videos online where it was, talking about um the mom and dad, whether, once their kids grown up now, all of a sudden, now they trying to, figure out who they are as a
Mm-hmm.
couple, and,
Yep.
where they belong, and, fit into the world now. Because
Mm-hmm.
I think when you have kids, obviously, the dad gonna be the dad, hopefully the dad will be a present dad or whatever the case may be. But the
Yep.
mom, it's gonna be the mom, the nurturing, caring, all that what moms do. But I
Mm-hmm.
think sometimes it get excessive to where the mom sometimes is obviously healing from past trauma, but
Yeah.
and it's this thing to where mom sometimes does do where they coddle the kids, and you
Yep.
coddle the kids and they can't do nothing wrong, or you coddle them and you just, you're in a relationship, but at the same token, it's like, I'm just going, I ain't worried about the relationship. I'm just going, all my focus going to the kids. Now, the kids important. They number one, everything like that. But I feel like if you have a partner and you in a situation, in a relationship, I feel like, man, y'all should continue to date, continue to love
Mm-hmm.
on each other, continue to, you know, interact, do all that, kiss,
Right.
intimacy, all that,
Yeah.
smack her
Right.
on the butt, whatever the
Yeah.
case may be, run around the house, whatever, and stuff like that. To now, Charnel was about to say, kids are grown. Now
Mm-hmm.
what?
Now
No.
what? Yeah,
Yeah.
because as a parent,
Of adult
a
children.
present parent and a step parent and
Uh-huh.
a not present parent, and some of my kids, as in day to day stuff.
Right.
Once you got kids, like you said, you're a parent. You feel like some people feel like that's their
That's
whole
your full
focus.
identity.
Their only
Yeah,
job. You can make it. You'll be okay, husband. You'll be okay, wife. I'm a parent.
Mm-hmm.
But when they're gone, because like all my kids are grown now.
Mm-hmm.
I got two of them that's still here with me, but they do what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
They leave, be gone for 2 3 days. I don't
Right.
even look for them. I know where they at.
Right.
I can look on the Life 360 app and be like, oh,
Trying to
he
get
in
that
Fort
life.
Worth. Yeah,
Yeah.
like he in Fort Worth. Oh, man, he got off work. He went to the club.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And when it's just me and my wife, we still enjoy each other because we did like what Dre talking about throughout our whole relationship. We go to the casino all the time. We
Mm-hmm.
go everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Wherever she go, I go. Wherever I go, she
And
go.
they be gone. They be
For
gone.
the yeah, we be gone.
They be gone.
But for the most part, we're always together. It's to the point now we got two vehicles. I can actually get rid of mine because
Y'all always
we
together.
we usually always together. So
Mm-hmm.
we looked at this like everybody gone. Damn, I can't wait till they all move out.
Right.
And I already told them chasing your ass all around the house once everybody out of here. It's gonna be on and popping. I'm
Yeah.
changing the locks. Ain't nobody gonna have a key.
Hell yeah.
Your ass got a knock to get here.
Yes. Yes.
Because ain't no telling what me and your mom gonna
I'm
be
gonna
doing.
be gone.
Oh, don't need to spring it up on me at the last minute. Because
Yeah.
I think a lot of people forget that they get so into their kids, then they get their feelings hurt when their kids start wanting to do their own stuff.
Right. Right.
Because you expect them to just, I centered my whole life around you. You should center your whole life around me. But no, they're adults now. They're independent. They got stuff that they want to do.
That's
My
right.
stepdaughter one day wants to move to Africa.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stop her.
Nah.
If she get enough money one day and be like, "Yeah, I'm going to Africa," I'm gonna be like, kind of forever. You know,
Right.
you out of here. Now I got a reason to go to Africa. So I can
Exactly. And that's how you
see
have
my
to look at
daughter
it.
and my grandkids, but I
Mhm.
can't stop her from going. When
Right.
she left here from Dallas and moved back to New Orleans, my wife didn't want her to move back to New Orleans.
Mhm.
But we couldn't stop
Stop
her. She
her.
grown. She's an adult. She didn't
Mhm.
ask us, "Hey, do you think I should move back to New Orleans?" She said, "I'm moving to New Orleans." And that
Mhm.
was it.
You say it's okay, baby. How can I support
Yeah.
you?
My
You
wife
know,
was all bent out of shape. I'm like, "Hey, gotta let her go.
gotta let it go.
Yeah.
If it was a mistake, she gotta find out the hard way.
That's right.
We gonna be here.
Your job is to welcome her back.
We
Yeah.
don't have to let her know we gonna be here. You can be mad and let her go,
Yeah.
but if she get in trouble, guess what? You in that car driving them 8
That's
hours
right.
back to New Orleans.
Baby, all right. That's
Mhm.
right.
Yeah. And look at, I understand you, man, big time for real. And I think uh with today's parenting, I think I said at one point on the podcast, I think this gentle parenting thing came up because of how, obviously they was like, all right, man, you know what? When I get older, I'm not whooping my kids, like stuff like that, because I don't like whoopings. And then you get older and then you realizing your child up here, talking back and stuff like that, or whatever the case may be, what disciplining them any type of way, and I feel like we sort of just trying to not, we want to hold our kids' hand the whole entire way. And just, you gotta let them go. You gotta let them fall. You gotta let them run like baby. Like, little man 3, but I'm like, man, look at, I'm a teacher. I'm gonna teach him in my way. You feel me? And I know you gonna, teach him. You gonna be a mom and
Yeah.
everything like that. FIFO, I'm, like, what you want me to just run over there, roll over there real fast? I mean, he just fell. I mean, like, he cool, like he just tripped.
Yeah,
He got back
learn how
up,
to get up.
yeah, and to get back up. Like, I think we like at times we gotta let our kids, man, just be,
Yeah.
like we
Yeah.
they
Let
parents,
them
and
figure it
we
out.
make,
You have to let them.
especially if they grown too, they figure it out. My mother let me figure it out. She be like, all right, you know what, you grown, you got it, you
Yeah.
got it,
Right. And
But I
it's
think
just that's
what
part of life.
go ahead now. Go ahead.
I was going to also say, like, you mentioned the gentle parenting thing. I think gentle parenting was an extreme response to abuse, right?
Yes.
Because let's be real, most of us was abused. You know,
I
my
got a
mom
lot of
used to
ass
go,
whoopings that I know I did not
Yeah,
deserve.
dead in the mouth, right? And all that, right? And I know a lot of people will be like, well, I survived it. I'm all right. We're not really all right.
No, you're
Okay?
not.
Like that
No,
was
you're
abuse
not.
and all that. And which is why we had such a drastic turn when it came to, okay, I'm not going to do this to my children. But where's the middle ground, right? Because gentle parenting, black gentle parenting works. White gentle parenting, not so much because it's too gentle, right? Black
Yeah.
gentle parenting look like, okay, I hear what you said. Okay, you have an opinion, but you don't rule nothing around here, though. Right? I'm
Mhm.
not going to let you make the decisions for the household because you're a kid, right? But I do take in what you say and how you feel, and you are allowed to have feelings, right? Because a lot of times we wasn't allowed to have feelings. I was just telling somebody earlier how when I had made 18 already, and I literally just disagreed with my mama, and she was about to slap shit out of me. Right. And at 18, I was like, oh no. And I didn't, I would dare not try to hit my mom. I don't care what age I am.
Cheryl
Right.
would have killed
But
you.
I would not be before you today and all that. But I did push back from the table, right, and stand up. And I was like, Mama, I'm 18. Come on. Like, all I did was disagree with you. I wasn't talking crazy to you. I wasn't being disrespectful. We just don't share the same opinion, right? And she had to pause for a moment and be like, okay, well, you're right. She's been so, the level of what is called respect versus what is respect, right? Disagreeing with the grown person is not disrespectful.
No.
Having a smart ass mouth about it is disrespectful, right? And all that. And so learning the difference between those two things, right? Or even now I pay attention to how many people have been diagnosed with autism, right? And a lot of times, autistic kids don't know tone, right? So they might be disagreeing. It sounds like they're being a smart ass, but they not. They just speaking matter of factly. So that the autistic people did not just come into existence recently. They've always existed, right? And so there were some kids that was autistic and parents thought they were being the smart ass and they got their ass whooped, right? But they knew what it was. What you mean? I just asked the question, right? You know that the gentle parenting looks like allowing your kid to ask questions like why, but back in the day, you don't question your parents, you don't ask them why. I realized not because they didn't always know the answers.
Yeah, so yeah.
That
Just
was
say
real
you don't know, bro.
Now-
Just say you don't know.
Just say you don't know.
Yeah. And look, and yeah, maybe, yeah, I agree with that too. I definitely agree with that. I remember, sometimes having a conversation with my mom and, we'd be talking and, maybe just responding, it's just like, she said something and I just said it back and was like, who you getting smart with? I'm like, what
you talking
hold on,
about?
wait a minute. What are you talking about?
Right.
I just answered your question. I don't know. Maybe it was the way, like maybe, in that way, I definitely understand because I think that one was like, goodness, like who you talking to? I'm like, man, good gracious, we are having a conversation here. You are
Right.
talking to me. Why are we doing this? Like
Why are we
that was
doing
the one thing I think I had the most trauma with and I used to hate. But like how you just said, like why, right? Like I got a little 3-year-old, right?
Oh, you in the wide stage of life.
Oh
Yeah.
man, I'm in the wide stages. Everything is a why.
Why?
Amir, come here, Daddy. Why? I want to play the game. Well, why we gotta do that? I'm like, you know what? It's all cool. And to that extent, it's like, all right, Daddy, why is it raining? Okay, cool. Hey, look here, it gotta rain. The plant need water. Blah 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 blah. Cool. Amir, time to go to bed. Why? Hey, look here. This ain't the time to be asking why right here. No. You didn't know. You done ran out all your wives now. Look here. Mario lost all his men. Sonic did. You lost all your wives. That's how it's going to be right here. You are out, game over. Like.
I don't ever tell my kids because I said so, but you run out of why. You run out of answers for why.
Yeah, you do.
You're like, because I said so. Just go to bed.
Yeah, that's how I look at it. I'm like, yeah, why is cool, like that, yeah, and I just be in the other room and hear his mother and be like, Amir, come here. So whatever, let's put your shoes on. Why, mommy? Amir, go get your shoes on. Like, yeah, like why is cool, but yeah, definitely, growing up in the black house, man, shit, I wouldn't even dare say why to my mother, man. And you'd be like, yeah, DeAndre, go in there, go do it. I'm like, why, mommy? What?
Yeah.
Whew, I don't even know if the 11:30 podcast will be here. I don't even know.
Exactly. Yeah. My mama let us ask why, but to an extent. Just to an extent. She did allow. I would say that, like, my mom was a big, if you need to cry, cry. Right? I did whoop your ass. You should cry. Like, I know that ass on fire. Right? And so there was no unrealistic expectation of, like, I beat your ass and then I'm like, shut up, don't be crying, but she definitely allowed us to ask her why, and she, if it was the right situation, she would sit and explain what her reasoning for, say, and I think it helps children to know the why, having that reason that you don't have to explain them. Like if you'd have been able to tell a little man, why I gotta go to sleep, because your brain don't work if you tired, right? You're gonna be cranky, like your body not gonna act right. You're not gonna be able to pay attention, So explain to him this is the consequence of not going to sleep. I'm not trying to control your life, son. I just want you to be resting, and all that. And I think then the next time you say go to bed, he'll be like, because my brain gonna be tired, huh, Daddy? Yeah. So
that is hilarious.
Feed him with the information is if you got it. You got the pay.
Oh, there she go.
Oh, okay. I thought it was me for a minute. That's why I was quiet.
No, it was just
okay. There she go.
That cheap ass internet.
I'm talking about my internet. I got two internet. You don't need them. Neither one of them act right.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you. Yeah, I'm gonna hit him with that next time. Be like, look here, you ain't gonna be acting, you ain't gonna be right next time because you already know when he gets sleepy though. He just start, he
Mhm,
want everything. He want every single thing. Want a
mhm,
cupcake? Give me a banana. Let me get the crepes. Let me get. All right, look here,
mhm.
you tired? You want to go from
Right.
every game?
Yeah.
He got like five, whatever. It's like a couple of phones in here, like two iPads. He go from
Mhm,
my game to the game on the iPad to his mother game in the back here, with the simulation game.
mhm,
Yeah, when he want to start doing everything, he get tired. I'm like, yeah, it's time to go to
mhm.
bed,
I
bro.
know.
So do he
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
play the iPad and stuff till the battery run down and then move to the next one?
Well, that's how kids are. Well, he
Yeah.
do. Yeah, he start a show, and then of course after maybe a couple of moments, maybe he probably go follow his mother, and leave
Mhm.
the iPad there, and it just runs,
Right.
and then it was like, yo, go get the iPad off, man, before it go dead, man, and before you
Yeah.
know
When
it, yeah, it's
my
dead.
grandkids was younger, they used to do like they just go, they play one device, battery get
Mm.
down to like 5%,
Mhm.
and then they just go move to the next one.
Next one. Yeah.
And I'm just looking at them like, man, you ain't gonna put that thing on the charge. You just gonna let that whole
Oh,
battery
you know
run
what?
down.
Once they figure it out, they put it on the charger, but it ain't staying on there for long. Once
Oh
that junk come
hell
back
no.
on,
Mm-mm.
Mhm.
like it keep
20%.
cutting off. Because
Yeah.
you ain't leaving it on the charger here, Just leave it on the
Yeah.
charger, you know.
20%. It's off the charger. Oh,
Right.
it's
Yeah.
charged. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. For a couple of minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. We need to get our kids more back outside, man. I remember growing up, man, I was always outside. And
Mhm.
obviously, I know, things happen, in the neighborhoods and, whether it's shooting, whatever the case may be. But, outside, man, was the time, man. We all in looking at a screen most of the time, down at a
Mhm.
screen, or,
Mhm.
like I look at my little man when he be on YouTube and I'm just like, look at it, like I mean he be playing with his own action figures too, but I'm like
Mhm.
little kids they get on social media and they look at other little kids play. Look at it, man.
Yeah,
Get
that
give me Cartoon
Not
Network.
just other
Give
little
me
kids.
bro,
They got
bro
grown people on
give me some.
YouTube playing with toys to entertain children.
yeah.
And it's some of them you got to really watch out with because and he be in the reels and them short reels on YouTube, man. It's not
Mhm.
all kid friendly and stuff like
Nope.
that. And they be
No.
teaching you some real weird stuff. So yeah,
Right.
you gotta really manage that stuff that we be trying to do, like get them just be YouTube kids or something like that because boy, they
Be a
get on
kid.
them Jones, man, and just be
Mhm.
going for it though.
Mhm. I can
Yeah, I
feel
tell
that.
you, man. That's what I'm gonna start me a YouTube channel. I don't know what it's gonna
You don't
do.
know what it's gonna do?
But I
Yeah.
watched this one dude, like you said, the dude, all he do really is just no, yeah, I forgot this little girl name. She
Mhm.
just reacts to other people's videos. This
Yep.
girl
Mm,
got like almost 4 million subscribers.
Exactly.
yeah.
Mhm. That
And
means we need everybody out there to subscribe to our channels if people are willing to watch her just react and respond. We actually have conversation. Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's it. And I know her now that I know how the monetary value thing work with
Mhm.
YouTube.
Yeah.
If she getting the views, she getting paid
Yeah.
just to react to other people videos. I
Yeah.
was joking,
Yeah.
me and my wife was joking today because we both know her. This is
Mhm.
the only part of her body I'd have ever seen right here up to her face. I don't know. I don't the girl could have no arms, no legs. I don't know.
You never know.
This
You
is
never
the only part of her body I see. But
right.
she got
Mhm.
almost 4 million followers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Those.
so when people get mad talking about oh these kids don't want to work no more, like no, they working, dog. They trust
Yeah.
me, they working.
Working different.
I
Yeah.
mean,
It's a
Once you
different
figure out
time.
what people like, once you figure out
yeah,
what people are willing to watch, I'm going past on TikTok all the time and passing by the lives and all that. There are people that are just sleeping on live, and
yeah.
people are watching, and I'm
Like
like
Sleeping
to this
like
day,
sleep like taking.
yeah,
in their
sleep.
bed, knocked out sleep, phone right there, just watching, and you can see the comments for people that are like, they're talking, and I'm like, but he's sleep. Why are we watching somebody sleep?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't
Like
get
to
it.
this day, I don't know what Castanet, I don't know what he does.
Oh,
I
Mhm.
don't even,
Carsonet.
yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I
I don't
mean,
really know what he like him. I show speed. I don't know what none of
yeah,
these dudes do. Like,
yeah. I don't. Yeah, I don't really know what ISO speed really does. I just know he just takes a camera and just wherever he goes, he sort
Yeah,
of records, I guess,
he just
and
race
just
people all day.
yeah, and
Mhm.
just do stuff. And he's really like popular, like internationally, and certain places though. But Casanet, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's the same thing, but I don't know, man. Yeah, like it's a different time. Back in the days, man. Growing up, your mom and your pops told you, look here, go get a job. And if you
Yeah,
told them otherwise, like, hey, you know what, I want to be this, I want to be that. Well, look here, you got to learn on your own. Because that's how it was back in the days. Back in
Right.
the day, look here, you go get a job, and that's how you put food on your table. If you
Right.
told them you wanted to go be a comedian, you wanted to be a rapper, you wanted to be a wrestler, you wanted to be anything out of the norm of going to go get a job,
Right.
it was like, well, let's see if you survive, whatever like
Right.
that, though. But it's, in this generation now
Same thing
where
now.
you got content creators who shit pull out their phones and whether it's TikTok, YouTube, or whatever, they
Mhm.
making a whole lot of money, taking
Mhm.
care of their family or whatever like that. So yeah, it's a different world now, like
Well, I ain't mad at him. I
everything
mean,
is.
find a
oh
thing that
no, I'm not.
works.
Yeah,
Make it work.
I ain't mad
You
at
know.
him at all. Just like he was
yeah.
talking, like with the wrestlers. I remember when if a wrestler, I remember Stone Cold Steve Austin. He was like one of the first wrestlers to make $1 million a year.
Hmm.
That
Mm-hmm.
was unheard of.
Right.
It was only
Mm-hmm.
like him, I think Triple H, and The
Hmm.
Rock
Mm.
and Hulk Hogan. It was just them dudes. They was like the Cody Rhodes make almost $5 million a year now.
Right. Right.
Mm-hmm.
See? So things have
Yeah.
changed. And I
Yeah.
remember watching one girl on TikTok. She had gotten real popular. But she would just act like NPC,
Oh
and
yeah,
all that.
yeah,
People
yeah.
would send her the stuff, and she would have a phrase for every little thing that they would send her and all that, and being robotic and all that. I mean, and she did a great job. She did a great job, you know.
Yeah.
But I know she made some money, and then everybody
Yeah.
else was like, "Wait, I could do that." So everybody else
Mm-hmm.
was jumping on that train, you
Yeah, I
know.
seen that too. When everybody, right after that girl started doing it, everybody was like, "Yeah, you know what? I can do it too."
Mhm.
But that's the thing with social media, man. Like, you look at it, you got to do something crazy. You really do. And then you also got to figure out what people want to see, what people
Right,
watch, and
right,
everything like that. Like
right,
reacting to videos, though, I think a lot of people would like to see that, especially if it's a video you may have saw. And it's not also,
right.
it's
Right.
not more so like you're just watching them react. You also just, it's almost like you just strolling down your phone in another way. It's like, oh well, another video. Oh, let's
Right.
see this crazy ass video, and it's crazy.
Right.
You got them reacting, and it's even more crazier. And it's like,
Right.
I said I was going, probably dib and dab into that though if I, get time though. More probably
Mhm.
when little man get older though. But yeah, I
Mhm.
probably said I was gonna start a little YouTube channel with him though, just playing
Well, that'd
around,
be
just having
cool.
fun. Yeah, because
That would be
he
really
be
cool.
he always on YouTube and trying to
Mhm.
just play around. But yeah,
Mhm.
man, different times, man. We live in, man, and we can't coddle our kids, man. We gotta let them spread their wings, man, and just
Mhm.
grow, man, and grow.
Mhm.
And also, like I said, if you've been in a relationship, man, love on. Look, either just love on your person, or just look at just either. I would say just find someone else, or
Mhm.
but look at
Some
just
people,
fucking just.
some people make actual arrangements like after, like when they realize at that older age, because everybody's has grown differently, right? And sometimes people do grow apart. And so once kids are out of the house, I think I saw interviewed this lady. Somebody was interviewing on the street, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I've been married over this many years, and this and that." And he was like, "Well, what makes what's the longevity secret and this and that?" She said, "Well, all our kids are grown, and we don't live in the same house." And he was like, "Wait, y'all don't live in the same house?" He was like, "That works best for us."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they live in their best life. They see each other when they want to see each other, but they don't have to worry about you pick your drawers up off the floor. And I'm tired of telling you this for 50 years, right? And all
Right.
that. And so it's those little things that make a difference. But figuring out what works for you as an individual couple is what's important. I used to wonder why I would see on TV older people would be in different beds. And so I was like, you don't share a bed. But now I get it, right? Because maybe he do snore. He need to be in a whole nother room. I don't know.
Yeah.
But as you get older, you realize you don't have to be inconvenienced or have to tolerate certain things. And the things that do make y'all great, that are wonderful about y'all do those things together. But if this agitates your soul, but they not willing to change it, and they don't necessarily have to change it, but you also don't have to live in the same room with that person, right? And
Right.
all that. And it doesn't stop the love, it doesn't stop, but it has to work for y'all. That's the whole key.
I
Is it
mean,
have to be you individual.
no, that's cool though. But as a man, sometimes, or as a man, I'm thinking like, all right, we ain't in the same bed,
Hmm.
or we not living together. How am
Hmm.
I supposed to protect you if anything occurs
I
in that
feel that.
moment, though?
I can feel that.
Like if something happens 2 o'clock in the morning, and you calling me, oh, da, 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 something happened, da, da, da. By the time I get over there or whatever,
You're
it's
right.
probably too
Makes sense.
late. Like, or whatever the case, may be. I get it. I totally understand. When you older,
Hmm.
God damn, I can't stand when he snores. Shit, golly. I mean, like if it that bothers you
It
that
works. Yeah,
bad,
that's what it
like
right.
I don't
But I
know.
understand where you come from because, like you said, for you, you wouldn't be able to do that because you're like, I need to be a protective force for my household, so I need to protect you. I
Then I
need you.
feel then I feel bad
Right.
afterwards. Now something happened, occurred,
Right.
Right. I couldn't ever think.
because I'm not there.
Yeah.
Like now I gotta, like yeah, nah,
Mhm.
If
then
I
I gotta look
wasn't,
at
yeah, if I
yeah,
wasn't living all the way on the other side of
In
yeah,
town,
town, right?
yeah.
like
Yeah.
Now,
the two bed thing, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
We went to Vegas one time and they gave us a room with two queen beds.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna lie. I like not
It
having to
was
fight
cool,
over the
especially not
cover at 2 o'clock in the morning.
yeah.
right.
I was
Right.
like, we
Yeah.
can do this. Like,
That's why I said that there are benefits to being in the bed
yeah.
together, but there are also benefits to not being in the bed together. So, like,
'Cause,
you
when
know,
you fighting for cover at 2 o'clock in the
in the
morning
morning,
and
it's
the
hard.
air conditioner going and the ceiling fan, because my wife got to sleep with a ceiling fan on,
Uh-huh.
it's fucking cold. It's
Cold up
like
there. Yeah.
now you getting the attitude because I'm pulling the cover because you all wrapped up like a goddamn
Burrito.
caterpillar. Them
Yeah, we
simple bed, like okay,
Mhm.
I'll come visit you when I need to visit you, but we
Right.
still in the same room. I'm
Right.
totally okay with that.
yeah,
Living in a separate house,
Mhm.
I can't get with that.
yeah,
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 I
because
don't
with even having different rooms, because I feel like I'll since I've been divorced, right? I imagine, if I'm living with a man again, it's here's my room, here's your room, here's our room, right? And that way I can have my space, kind of like a she shed, and he have his
yeah.
space like a man cave, and this is our space that we share together, and we can choose when we share that space together, right? And that way, when I don't want to be bothered, I can go in my
So
space, and
my face, yeah, because
so like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I
like even if I can do you sleep in that room, I sleep in this room, as
mm-hmm,
long as I'm in the same house.
right, I
As
yeah.
feel
long as I'm in it,
yeah,
because I'm gonna always be listening.
mm-hmm.
If I hear if I'm
Time to
in
go
the
down,
bedroom and I hear something that I know don't sound like it's supposed to be in my house,
right? Oh yeah, you about to do something about it.
yeah,
Hmm.
I'm coming out there and something gonna happen.
I
So
understand that
Yeah.
protective thing. I didn't even
Nah.
think about that until y'all
Yeah,
said it.
nah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause I don't know, I mean, but then another thing I noticed, like most men, like physical touch is
Mhm.
how, the men feel connected with the women. A lot of times, not most of the times though.
Yeah, but
Everybody got different, love language or whatever like that. And I wanna be able to hold you when I'm asleep. Yeah, I understand. We ain't gonna be holding each other the whole time. Of course, we gonna get hot and roll over and push
I
off you
understand
or
right,
whatever like that. But just
that.
being in the same, room with you, and
Yeah.
like if you got that love for that person, and then that's
Mhm.
how maybe you'll feel. But if you maybe tired of that dude, just look at it. Y'all been together 30 years. All he do is snore. You can't sleep in the same room. You
Right.
tired of asking him picking up his shit off the floor. Then maybe look at it. Living in some different places may just work though.
But
But
for them, right,
yeah.
right,
yeah,
right.
but
So you
I
gotta figure out
But
what works for you.
I figure if you've been married for 30 years, by now you know you should be picking your shit up off the floor.
Exactly. Exactly. Like, come on. Like, I
as soon
mean,
as you throw that shirt in the dirty clothes basket and then it hit the floor. Oh Lord, I don't want to hear this shit. Let me get this damn shirt off the floor.
If nothing else but that. Yep. If nothing else but that. You know. I think that's kind of what makes growing old together fun, right? Because you do know your mate by that point.
Yeah, because I know my wife have a problem with socks rolled up in the dirty clothes in the socks on the floor. So if I'm going through here, I'm like, shit.
I don't want to hear that. Right?
Yeah, I don't want to hear that because it's an argument I can't win. So I don't want to hear it.
Right. Still, I think that relationships that last that long still date each other, man. Still date each other.
Definitely.
Still date each other. Still, love on each other. Do the small stuff. The little small stuff, I think, add all the way up, man. To the big stuff, and still, like Big Fred, chase her around the house. Look at the kids gone. Look, I always look at kids gone. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I had a client
22 again.
I had a guy who was struggling to connect with his wife and all that. And I was just like, hold her hand. It was as simple as they went somewhere and they held hands and she looked at him like, man, that's cool, right? Because over time you just forget to do the things, the little things, you know what I'm saying? And all that. And that one step started getting them closer together again. And it reconnected them. And all, and they started being more intentional about spending time together. And again, the hustle and bustle of the kids and the everyday and all that shit gets in the way. It gets in the way.
It do.
I mean, there have been times like my daughter might be like, "Can y'all watch the kids?" And we'll be like, one of us or no, not because we can't. Because everybody's gone, and I want to hang out with my wife.
My wife, thank you.
I love my grandchildren, but you know what? They're needy. They need my attention.
But guess who else needs my attention? My wife do. My wife do. So
because we will just randomly be like, hey, let's go here. Right. Okay, you want to go eat? We got food in the refrigerator. So what? I won't go out.
I want to go out and eat. Yeah.
Right. And we'll go somewhere simple. It ain't even got to be like we're not at that point where I got to be spending $300 on.
Oh yeah. She probably look at you crazy if you're not just spending $300.
Oh yeah, she will. Like, why the fuck are we spending $300 on goddamn food? We could have took this $300 and bought some groceries. That's exactly what she would say.
Yep, that's what she would say.
Look, man, just I would say as parents with kids who are in relationships, I would just say, man, love, like I said, continue dating and love on your partner, man, and the kids will be fine. Look at, they always say what? F them kids, look, them kids will be fine. They straight. I be telling her sometimes, look at him. She be like, I gotta go in there and make sure he all right. I'm like, look at he. Like we ain't been off the rails. Like, he's in there by himself. Just but he good. Like if you gave him something to eat, he's more than likely probably up there on upside down watching Bluey, or with one of the daggone action figures in his hand, halfway off the couch. Right. And he come over and be like, you good? Yeah, I'm good. Like little kids, they just simple. Like so I feel like you still gotta feed the relationship, do everything, man, and then come on, man, and then have some freaky time. That gotta be a must. You gotta have freaky time, man. Come on, we grown here. We definitely grown here.
Look, I tell everybody, get some freak time. Get your freak on, dog. Come on.
Yes, absolutely.
Just because you got older, don't mean you
don't still need freaky time.
Thank you.
And freaky time come in all shapes and sizes. Okay.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Because let's be honest, we're older.
We're older.
Freaky time ain't got to be that long.
No,
15 minutes max. That's it. We both tired. We probably won't do this again for another week and a half.
Exactly. So, we got to recoup and then come back again.
Exactly.
Right? Exactly. But it's a fun time regardless.
That's right. You have fun for them 15, maybe 20 minutes.
Maybe 20 minutes. Yeah.
You gotta be honest with yourself. Like, I'm 57 years old. Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
minutes is my max, buddy.
Exactly.
Hey,
And I
If I,
ain't no
if I
wrong
go,
with that.
if I go past 20 minutes, yeah, we won't be doing this again for another 2 weeks. And she'll agree. She'd be like,
still
yes,
agree, yeah,
definitely.
you're right.
Maybe a month. And I'm like, I'm totally
Oh,
okay with
shit.
that.
What? Oh man, yeah.
Yeah,
I think both of y'all should be like that. You look at you.
You know what I'm saying?
I ain't 22 years old no more. I
Niggas
can't
Hey.
don't know
go
what
it.
they used
Round
to.
6?
Just, yeah.
Hell no. Shit.
Mm-mm.
Round 1. That's it.
That's it.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? You know.
Ah,
I ain't
man.
got nothing to prove. Pride
Not
is
at all.
overrated.
Not at all. Yep.
Mm.
Ain't nobody going
Ain't-
nowhere.
Ain't
No.
nothing wrong with that, man. We all get there. We all get there soon, man.
Yeah.
He said a week and a half, man. Shit, a week and a half. I'd be like,
Hey,
man,
man,
that's a little too long for me.
I need at least 3 days to recover.
3 days recovery time. Oh, Lord, yes.
All
but
right,
they
man.
change as you get older. I'm just saying. You still want it.
Yeah,
Still
you
Yeah.
don't
want
want
it. But your body don't do what it used
Yeah,
to.
and especially if you're a man too. You know, your head up here and your head down here don't be on the same page. You know, you just
No,
totally
they
be
really
off. You
don't.
know, really
Yeah,
don't.
they really
You know,
don't.
you up
That's
here
why
be like you be up here. You be like, man, yeah, I am ready.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Nah, I'm not.
I'm not. Give me.
bruh.
Yeah, you know, not like when
Ah.
you was a teenager, you was in your 20s, you were ready 24/7.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Well,
man.
breeze
wind-
go by, you like, let's go.
Yeah,
You know? Yeah.
start hitting
Oh,
40,
man.
boy. It's like, let me think
Mm.
about it.
Oh man. All right, you guys, man. What an episode of Beyond 1130, man. I appreciate Big Fred, man, as always, man, here on Beyond 1130 coming in, man. This was awesome, man. For real. Definitely gotta have you on again.
Anytime, man. Just shoot me a link. I'll be here.
Okay. We normally do our, roundabouts here, anything you got coming up, anything you want to let the people know. Yeah.
Check us out this Sunday and every Sunday at 7 o'clock, the PTBS podcast, where we're not trying to change your mind. We're just trying to get you to think.
That's it.
I like that. Chanel, same thing.
He just said that. You know what I'm saying?
Alright.
And also, I'm gonna add, since we did talk a little bit about couples today, Choosing Empowerment has now a couple workshop. It's a relationship and premarital workshop, but you don't have to do it just because you don't have to be getting married to do it. It's 8 hours long. It's not in one day because I got ADHD. I do have one like that, but it's pretty penny. But it's a workshop form. It's 2 cohorts, so like 4 hours and 4 hours on Saturday after the next, and all that. And I can't remember the exact price off the top of my head, but it's like $360 something a couple. It's good intensive information and all that, and you're gonna walk away with a 90-day plan to help you in your relationship and help you to communicate and use the skills that you learned in the workshop. So if you're interested, give us a holler.
Hey, definitely make sure you check it out, man. Fuck the Bullshit podcast. Make sure you tune in, man, Sundays. You guys, man, it been awesome having you guys with us, man. Checking out the episode. Of course, we'll be back with episode 4 next week. Shout out to Harley and Brian B, who wasn't here on this week's episode. But Big Fred, thank you, man, for coming through and filling in. This was awesome, man. For
Yeah,
real.
Brian, that's my boy. I watch all his stuff, but you better watch his back. Might end up replacing your boy.
All right, man. We got the podcast show, the 1130 podcast show, episode 221 out right now. So definitely check it out, man. Yeah, I appreciate it. Until next time, you guys. For myself, Dre, aka Dre on Will, Chanel, and my guy Big Fred from Beyond 1130. We gonna see you next week. Be safe. Be cool. Give all the glory to God, man. Won't he do it? Yo, we out, man. Peace.
We out.